What is going on? I am Cole and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new here, thank you for stopping by. And this is a video where I talk about my most anticipated comics for each new comic book day. And in this video, we'll be talking about February 15th, 2023. So if you want to see what I'm going to pick, stick through this intro.
Most anticipated comic books. Most anticipated comic books from Cole.
So before we get into my picks, one of the things that I like to show everyone is League of Comic Geek. This is where I get all of my information. And the reason that I show this off is that, unlike Preview, sometimes this site can be a little unreliable, but the reason I use this over Preview is because it has every single publisher. With Previews, if you don't have a login because of your store, it only shows what you can order through Diamond, and that excludes things like DC, Scout, and a few other comic book publishers. I think Bad Idea is one of those. So that is the reason why I use League of Comic Geek. I always start with it because it is a good place and a good resource to find stuff, but there are chances that sometimes I recommend a book that doesn't always come out, and because I do this video a little bit earlier to get some information to you before New Comic Book Day, I just wanted to let you know. And if you are here, you are most likely looking forward to what comics I'm actually excited about and not League of Comic Geek. So I want to show you some of these books. Normally, I break them up between some of the stuff that is already not on issue 1 and then issue 1s. I also have a guest which I bring in the middle of that. So stay tuned to see who that guest is. The first book we've got is Nightclub number 3. This is from writer Mark Miller and artist Juanan Ramirez. I have really been digging this. One of the reasons why I first said that you should be buying this book is because it comes at a price tag of $1.99. So the concept of this book is, as you can tell by the cover over here, there are vampires. And I know vampires are kind of something that has been overdone, but this is kind of a weird one. So the main character in the first issue he gets paralyzed. And instead of being, a vegetable for the rest of his life, a vampire comes and bites him, and he has vampire powers. He becomes pretty much a superhero at this point, minus that his kryptonite might be the sunlight, but he's kind of gaining this group of other vampires to help fight against the bad vampire. So we haven't really even seen the big bads too much yet, but we are getting kind of what's going on with this, and I think that it's starting to be a pretty fun book. And with a price tag of $1.99, this may not be the best book out there on the market right now, but for $1.99, I think that price tag is hard to beat because this is entertaining enough, and I think overall it has been a solid story. Usually Mark Miller is one of those writers where I think is a very solid idea. I don't think he always sticks to the landing, but who really does, when it comes to certain mini arcs. So let's see what we're going to still get. But for that $1.99 price tag, this is a book from Image Comics I think you cannot pass up. Next book up, we have Trojan number 2. This is from writer Daniel Kraus, artist Marco and Lacey Lesko. I really enjoyed this first issue. It definitely was different than what I really thought it was going to be. It definitely has some same aspects to the books like Red Room. It deals with the dark web kind of and certain things in this weird future world. There are people that want to see these fays and magical beings get killed on the dark web. And maybe, that's where we're going to get with this. But so far, that first issue really grabbed me. And I've just been pulling most books from AWA because for the most part, I've really enjoyed the storylines. And this one, I think, continues to be good. I'm excited to see what happens in the second one. The first one definitely ends with a huge cliffhanger. So I'm excited to kind of see what happens in this next issue. I think this is only a 4-issue arc. So let's really see where the story is going to take us. So over the last week, there has been an indie book that a lot of people have been talking about recently, and that is Coins of Judas number 2. This is from writer Travis Gibb and artist Tyler Carpenter. I have been pumped for this book. It is from publisher Band of Bards. I'm friends with Travis, and he is a great dude, so I was stoked to get this book, and this is his first book that has came into Diamond. For those of you who missed out on it, I am sorry, but I will have a link up here. You can go see the trailer that Comic Book Poser and I have put together for our exclusive. We're sorry for the people who have already ordered it. It has been a little bit delayed. We got some shipping issues with the A and B covers, but if you buy that variant, you can also have your chance to pick an A or B cover while supplies last. I know that there are both A's and B's still left. So this book deals with what would happen to the 30 pieces of silver that Judas dropped after he betrayed Christ, and the family that kind of has to deal with some of the stuff that goes on with it. I love that first issue, and I am pumped to read the second one. There's a good chance that by the time this video airs that I have already read that second issue, because I might have just bugged the author enough to send me a review copy of it. And now we're to the point of the video where I bring in my guest. I am honored to have my buddy Flo Dameron from the Bada Boom Podcast. If you do not know about the Bada Boom Podcast, I'll have that link up here. They have been crushing the sub count lately, and he knows how to do shorts better than most of the people I've seen here on YouTube. If you guys have wondered, I know a lot of people have talked to me about doing shorts and how I do shorts, and he is somebody who helped inspire me to continually get back into it. So let's see which book he's going to recommend.
Hey guys, Flo Dameron here. Cole has asked me to come on to talk about my most anticipated comic for February 14th. And mine has to be Swamp Thing, Green Hell, issue number 2. I have waited for this comic for more than a year. So it's by Jeff Lemire and Doug Mahnke. The first issue came out last year. There were some delays, and by some delays, I mean a whole year. And now we're back. Issue 2 should be coming out next week. I won't believe it till I see it. So it's a great story. You have Swamp Thing. It's a Black Label, kind of Elseworlds type story. Jeff Lemire has a lot of familiarity with this world if you've read his Animal Man run, which was amazing. So check this out. If you haven't read issue 1, they did do a second print to kind of get people back into it so that people who may have missed the first issue from a year ago will be able to get it. So check this out, and bada boom.
I'm glad that you ended up picking that book. I definitely had it on my short list, but it's one of those books that I am still slightly nervous to put on mine because, as you mentioned, the delays have been insane, and I didn't want to put it on my list only to be heartbroken and have it not come out. I know that lately we haven't seen a ton of delays with DC, but this has been one of those books that has had it, so let's hope that we can get that Swamp Thing goodness from one of my favorite writers, Jeff Lemire. And now we're to the point where we're going to talk about number 1. So our first number 1 is The Last Barbarians number 1. This is from writer and artist Brian Haberlin and artist Gerard Van Dyke. I am not exactly sure how the stuff is going to be split up between these two, but this is a series premiere for a new comic from Image. And here is the blurb for this book. To be classless is a whole new low. You'd think in a fantastic world full of giants, magic, flying fish, it would be a world of possibilities, but you'd be dead wrong here. Sliv is a jack of all trades. She can fight with the best of them, pick most pockets, and even cast a third level spell or two. It's too bad for her that if you aren't a member of a guild, you are a persona non grata, completely outcast from adventuring. That might be fine, except she has her disabled 7-foot-tall brother to take care of. If she can't find a job to support them both, they'll be dead in a ditch in a matter of weeks. So now her only hope is a quest from a sketchy cleric who promises only a true hero can save the day. Sliv has taken lots of skills, and she'll need them all to survive this hero's journey. I'm usually not a huge fan of fantasy books, but I loved the cover of this. It is stunning. I think that it's just kind of dragged me in. I'm excited to see it. I'm guessing that this seems like a book maybe for some like Red Sonja fans and people like that. So we'll see how this book goes. Image number 1s usually hold value too. So if you're kind of just wondering, worst case scenario, you can check it out for the cover price, and you'll probably be able to at least make your money back if you end up having to sell it. Next up, we have Chilling Adventures presents Betty the Final Girl number 1. This is another book from Archie's comic. This is a slew of creators on it, but it is a one-shot that is 32 pages. It has a price tag of $3.99. So if you're looking for just one quick story, this seems like one that could be pretty fun. Most of the books in the Archie horror world have been pretty good from my standpoint. I mean, nothing has really been fantastic, but there are a lot of good books that have came out of it. And I think, at the end of the day, I'm up for trying something new. In this, they kind of say that there is going to be a new anthology of one-shots, and this one is part Scream and part When a Stranger Calls. So we'll really see what this is. Most of these Archie horror stuff have been fun, so I'm excited to check this out. And hopefully my comic shop will have a copy of this for me to pick up. And you know what I have to end with before we really get to the end is it is Bad Idea Day when it's New Comic Book Day. So the Bad Idea book coming out is They're All Terrible, #2. This is from writer Matt Kant, artist Ramon Villalobos, and colorist Tamara Bonvillain, who is a Golden Burrito Award winner. I have wished Raymond a happy birthday on his birthday, even when it technically was not his birthday. But Matt Kant, as you should know if you have watched this show before, is one of my favorite authors of all time. So I love whenever he has new books, and I've been enjoying everything that Bad Idea has. So I just want to let everyone know that this is coming out. I think this is the final part of part 2. So will I be crowned the Bad Idea Fan of the Year? I'm guessing the answer is no, but who knows? We've still got a little bit of time before that's going to happen. So once again, for everyone that has watched this, thank you so much. It means the world to me. I would love to know, what books are you most anticipating? Whether it just be a cover, an ongoing, a #1, or even a trade paperback, I would love for you to write it in the comments down below. If you too are on YouTube or not, and you would like to join me on this segment, I would love to have you on as a guest. I currently have one person waiting for next week, but beyond that, I think that I should have some more open spots. So I would love to have any other guests that are willing to come on. If you do not already follow me on Instagram, you can hit that down below. And if you don't have an Instagram, you can email me. Instagram is usually the one place that's easiest to find me. So if you are looking to join, please let me know on there. And as always, thank you so much for stopping by. I have been Cole. A wise man once said, ride on. Peace.
Most anticipated comic books. Most anticipated comic books from Cole.